Soki for the Yumi Susan team. Which is actually somewhat unique compared to other Yumi teams. Susan's assists do provide some very unique utility. First thing I'll cover is obviously the most basic in their aerial raid. When you have CC jump back 4P, you will have to slightly delay the 4P or else you will face the wrong direction as seen there. But jump back, slight delay on the 4P, and then you CC. From there, you can, obviously, you get to use the CC freeze to confirm whether your opponent did a reversal or not, or whether they're, boom. Right. And then if you see that they block, you can do CC and then 6P. And that'll true block string, and you can do a falling mix up from there, right? You get, double high, low, triple high, single high, low, single into delay, whatever. Basically you're just free to run any kind of messed up mix up you want from there, and they just have to guess it. That's great because this will cover all techs. If they tech out, you get a sandwich. If they tech in, then you're just guaranteed to turn. And they cannot push block their way out of it because you do. Because the 6P is hit scan even if they push the Susan. Right? Right? The 6P will still come in at the same timing regardless. So they can't push block their way out and they're forced to hold it. Now, obviously you're not always going to have CC on the table when you do aerial raid. Well, if you can just call regular assist, walk back 4P. That's good, you can visually confirm whether your opponent blocked it or not. You don't get too great of a mix-up out of it, so you can do strike throw, grab them instead of that. But the thing with getting any mix-up from this situation is since you cannot automatically track their safe jumps, you're either going to have to go for a consistent option, which would be obviously the walk back 4T, or you can try and read their tech direction. Because some people will not tech out of the corner. And some people will. And if you can read that, then you do get a mix because you can, jump back 4T. Into whatever. If you read their tech direction incorrectly, you don't get pretty much anything though. Well, it should be fine enough as long as you have assist, because you can do and then if they get hit, you just visually confirm. Another thing to know is if your opponent's pretty push block happy, run up 6A, 6B is great as an active switch tool because this is reversal safe. Right. They cannot push block their way out of it. They're just kind of forced to hold it. Right, so they're forced to hold that, which gets Susan at point blank range for free, which gets you a free strike throw. If you're pretty confident though that your opponent's going to respect you on that OT, that's when things get really messed up because you can do backdash 4P. And the reason you do that is literally just to pull Susan out of the corner. Because from there, you can do that. Start using the 4P to hide the Yumi and doing things. Will make every mix-up harder to react to. So you can't be consistent and get high mix, but you do have some really threatening mix options once you're pretty sure your opponent's going to respect you because you have the utility of the 4P. Which is further benefited since it's only one-way hit stop, you can swap through them faster. You know, or you can do like that gets you a free mix. Then, okay, that should cover pretty much everything for when you're not doing solo. When you are solo, you really just want to be doing meaty 2A. 2A is fast enough on recovery that you can OS most DPs, which is unironically a very big deal, because being able to OS a DP on wake up is like, it's an incredibly useful tool because you can, you know, guarantee your pressure against a lot of characters. You can do it mid pressure too, but like that's frame perfect on 13 frame DPs. But it's incredibly easy to do it on Oki since it's like a 3 frame window. So just, you know, take the free OS and, you know, punish if they get 2 gold. And obviously you can throw them once you get them respecting and whatnot. But that's only for situations where you just can't summon Susan for one reason or another. The other Oki enders you're gonna want to look for are 236A, because you're plus enough that they can't really do anything there. Right, because if he tries to do something, you just get a free punish. You're not quite plus enough to like OS 13 frame DPs, but against characters like, say, Rachel or like Hilda, you should be able to just mash 2A there, and if they try and DP you, you just get a free punish. Which, the way you want to OS these types of situations is, you can put 2A 5B, and basically it'll buffer, so if they block, you get the 2A, or you can do 2A 5A, and if they block, the 5A comes out, and if they DP then you don't get anything. Should look like that. Right there, I OS'd it. And if they blocked or got hit by the 2A, it would come out anyway. But I believe against Rachel, Rachel, you should be able to just... Yeah, against slow DPs you can do that and automatically OS them. So against characters like Rachel, Hilda, Wald, you can just 2A and they're just forced to hold that. You can add more layers to this once you get your partner involved. You can start doing, you know, 2A, 4P, which frame traps, but I do believe, yeah, they'll frame trap them, but there's a gap, so you want to be careful. Once they're respecting that, obviously, you know, you can use the low recovery. Wait, let's jump. You can use the low recovery and the jump cancel, just guarantee your turn and get a free mix up, which again you can just CC, and GG's. Right, 3 mix up. They just can't do anything. And then the final ender, and this is the most powerful in terms of like the Oki and mix up you're gonna get from it, and that is going to be 214A Rekka ender. You can OS all techs, right? You can just cover all techs. If they tech in, JB will reach them even if they're crouching. If they don't, then you can still body block. And you get a falling mix-up, which means you can now get a fuzzy. Now, Yumi can't universally confirm her fuzzy solo, but on the characters you can't do that on, you can do DP active switch, which will confirm the fuzzy for you. Right, which adds even more layers to Yumi's already great mix in that situation. Though really, you should only be going for the fuzzy if you don't have like CC on the table, because you can make things more burst safe and just higher mix if you do. But from that one, you start getting fuzzy, you start getting more empty jump. You still get the same low air dash stuff. It's just a lot more consistent, and you get an extra layer to add on top of things. Right, so you can just start layering your mix incredibly easily from it, because you have every tool you had on every other Oki all at once, and you have fuzzies on top of it. So that's pretty much the biggest like freedom one. The thing with both the 236A ender and that ender, you sacrifice a lot of damage when you go for them. They're incredibly consistent, but you will sacrifice damage. But it's great to know your options and cycle through them so your opponent has to stay on their toes. I would, recommend using these types of things in situations where, like, they're like, say, 10k health. Right? Like, and, oh, I can't kill on this hit. Even if I did aerial raid, whatever, I couldn't kill. You're not at, like, a point where you have meter or something you can't kill, but the next hit will kill, then you can start doing, that, because that will kill, or you can go for the other one. And because that's a big damage loss, right? It's like 1,000 damage. But in a situation where you're gonna kill on the next hit anyway, it might be worth it to go for that to ensure you get better Oki and mix up. It's all about shuffling your options based on how much you think your opponent's respecting you, basically. If they're not respecting you at all, just go for, walk back 4P, jump back 4P. Your basic things, they just get you a meanie without them being able to just reversal their way out of a situation. If your opponent's being very respectful, then you can start doing, 4P JC, 4P 2C. Right, you can start, or, throw them on wake up. But you're gonna have to be very smart about layering your options and making sure your opponent can't just guess once. I mean, they push block Susan there. You can still actually run up in time. They shouldn't be able to jump out of the situation. And if you really wanted to make sure they couldn't, you can sword. You can do, that. Which the thing about that is, if they aren't push blocking and they're just there, You can layer this because it is an actual 50-50 on whether you active switch or not. Or you can obviously just empty jump low, whatever. But the main thing is you're gonna have to cycle, like, you know, if they're respecting you too much. You don't have CC available, you can still do a low air dash if they let you, right? If they don't do anything, they're not trying to reversal. You have to play a more honest OT game, but you should still have good mix because you have like that, which that. And other strong tools. Just understand the type of person you're going against and try and basically go, okay, they're respecting me too much. I'm going to do, you know, low air dashes, or they're not respecting me enough. I'll just media assist and then visually confirm what they do. Or, you know, maybe they're push blocking me a lot. I'll do that, try and bait it. Or, you know, they're push blocking a lot too. You can do like that. They push block Susan and try and go for TRMs and stuff. But it's just going to be a lot of player recognition, as well as some situational awareness, since obviously, you know, like I said, you can go for the other enders in some situations and they'll be good. Mid-screen, you really just do aerial rave, and basically if you get the ender mid-screen, you can't spin back too far. Just spin CC. Just do that. Just 6P and run forward. If they tech forward, you should be able to the meaty 6P. Right, you get a sandwich. If they tech back, you're in their face. If you have CC available, you know, boom, sandwich situation. If they tech back, you still get a sandwich. If you have CC, you just go 6P and run forward. Alright, just, you know, run back. Just call 6P and run forward. You can get 6P to hit meaty without spending assist gauge, but that's frame perfect. And then obviously once you get him in that situation, you get whatever mix you want. That should be it for most things you need to know. You don't ever use any ender other than aerial rave mid-screen because, like, you can't really do anything off of them. I really wish this character had like some kind of auto tracking thing, but he just... Wait a minute. Well, that doesn't nuke your damage, at least. Fight BB and auto track, I guess. So you don't really have a button that hits on both sides, so you might not be able to consistently hit them. But you can do that. I actually didn't know that till just now, but what kind of safe jump it is. And it's one of those things you kinda have to be careful with it because you can end up side swapping, and if you do that, Yumi doesn't have a button that hits on both sides consistently. So, like, you can do that. Again, probably the same situation as the other ones that lower your damage, where it's like if next hit kills, then you can maybe go for that. So I still wouldn't recommend it because that's a lot of damage loss. Like over 1,000 damage, and that's off regular, and they already have to be juggled. You can do the fuzzy loops, which lead into like a throw reset, or you know, JC. Right, but you have to be close up. Reset, but generally the only ender you're going to be doing is this. That should cover like every practical OP situation with this character. So just remember the main things: aerial rave mid-screen, just call 6B and run forward. Aerial rave ender, 4P jump back. Call CC if you can on both of those and go into 6P and collect your mix up, you know, low air dash, empty jump low, whatever. Sandwich if they tech out. And then if you can't CC, understand that you either have to immediately go for your mix up, or you kinda have to be, which is unsafe, but if they're respecting you, that's when you can start doing that. If you can't call CC at all, I mean you can't call Susan at all, just meaty to a OS a lot of DPs or reversal options. And then next hit kill situations, go for, you know, freestand mix, strike throw, or 2-on-4A. Whatever offense you want, basically. Alright, that should be it.